Gravitas, powered by Skoda, made of smart imagination.
Now, for all the countries that are talking to the Taliban or exploring the possibility or justifying their shift by saying that engagement is different from recognition, we have one question. What is the cost of engaging with the Taliban? What is the cost of legitimizing a terror group? Forget money, although that's massive. For the moment, let's talk about other costs. There are many, like women's rights. The price that Afghan women will have to pay for this engagement. The Western world champions rights. The US routinely ridicules, lectures, even sanctions other countries in the name of rights. Will it make Afghan women the collateral damage in this deal? Cost number 2, a new wave of jihad. One terror group takes over a country and you say talking to them is the only option. What message are you sending other terrorists? If they win the war, they'll get a seat at global forums. That is the world's message. And this is the price that the world will have to pay for dealing with the Taliban. It's not just going to be a policy shift. Engaging with the Taliban will have other costs. Washington was among the first to accept this reality. And they seem okay with it. On Wednesday, the Pentagon said coordinating with the Taliban is certainly possible. Listen in.
As far as our dealings with them at that airfield or in the past year or so, in war, you do what you must in order to reduce risk to mission and force, not what you necessarily want to do.
Any possibility of coordination against ISIS-K with them?
It's possible.
You do what you must, he says. That's the American general. Let me translate that for you. America considers the Taliban to be the lesser evil now. Their focus is not the Afghan people anymore. It's their own security. And for that, Washington is willing to partner with the Taliban. The same Taliban under which the Haqqani Network functions. Talk about double standards. Both the US and the UN Security Council designate the Haqqani Network as a terrorist group. Haqqani leaders carry multi-million-dollar bounties. But I guess all's forgiven. Imagine the Taliban appointing a Haqqani member as envoy to the United Nations. What happens then? Will he be arrested from the headquarters? This is the cost of engaging with the Taliban. Terror becomes qualified as good and bad terror. And the Taliban get a free run. Think about it. A few weeks back, we were talking about leverage, how the Taliban desperately need money. The Kabul blasts completely changed that equation. Suddenly, the Taliban became partners in the war on terror. Their deal was pretty simple. It's either us or the Islamic State. And it's clear which way the US is going. Secretary of State Antony Blinken says any engagement with the Taliban depends on US national interest.
The Taliban has made a commitment to prevent terrorist groups from using Afghanistan as a base for external operations that could threaten the United States or our allies, including al-Qaeda and the Taliban's sworn enemy, ISIS-K. Going forward, any engagement with a Taliban-led government in Kabul will be driven by one thing only: our vital national interests.
So much for ending the forever war. The US is making the same mistakes again. They're trusting a group that has no history of loyalty. They're taking the Taliban at their words. But here's the problem. The Taliban are not a monolith. So which Taliban are they talking to? The Taliban have many factions, many ethnic groups. On the battlefield, they're all united, yes. But in government, not so much. The bickering, in fact, has already started. The Haqqanis led the siege of Kabul. They secured the Afghan capital, and now they want their reward. Who's stopping them? Another faction of the Taliban, led by Mullah Yaqub. He is the son of Taliban co-founder Mullah Omar. Now, Yaqub is a military leader. His loyalists control Kandahar, the Taliban's longtime headquarters. So to recap, the Haqqanis hold Kabul, while Mullah Yaqub controls Kandahar. And that's not all. The Taliban leadership is at least pretending to be autonomous. The Haqqanis are not. They take their orders from Pakistan. The Haqqani Network is Islamabad's back door into the Taliban. America knows all of this. The world knows all of this. Yet the US is jumping into a partnership with the Taliban. This shadow relationship could trigger a new wave of Afghan resistance, not for democracy, but for an even more radical regime. That is the cost of talking to the Taliban. There are no sure shot options, no foolproof strategies, because right now the Taliban hold all the cards. WION is now available in your country. Download the app now and get all the news on the move.
Gravitas, powered by Skoda, made of smart imagination.